lived, for to the barren ones only they were attached.
Okay, so I that's right, prophet. So now, because the women that's pregnant, they look abominable to the men. Now they only attracted to the women that's what?
Barren. Barren ones only they were attached. Yeah, those are the only ones that they would look to. But here's the thing. That's where this particular spirit comes from. So you can see where the spirit that are on men that in this realm that are looking, their eyes are caught with whatever, with the figures, and you look in disgust to a woman who is bore children, who has, and her figure to in this world. And you see where it came from. It's evil. It is evil. And in the end of the days and years, when Zillah became old, the Most High God opened her womb.
Now, you know what? She drunk that potion. She thinks she ain't going to never have no children. But guess what? The Most High still opened her womb, right?
Yeah.
Come on, prophet.
And she conceived and bare a son, and she called his name Tubal Cain.
Tubal Cain.
Saying, after I had withered away, I obtained him from the almighty power. And she conceived again and bare a daughter, and she called her name Naamah. For she said, after I had withered away, have I obtained pleasure and delight. And Lamech was old.
And Lamech was old now, okay.
Lamech was old and advancing years, and his eyes were dim that he could not see.
Okay.
And Tubal Cain, his son, was leading him. And it was one day that Lamech went into the field, and Tubal Cain, his son, was with him.
Now, on the earth, people moved in groups, right? I call them tribes, right? We know 12 tribes. Lamech had a son named Tubal Cain. Of course, the father would teach the son what he does. They hunt. They're known to be hunters. Okay? Come on, prophet.
It was one day that Lamech went into the field, and Tubal Cain, his son, was with him. And whilst they were walking in the field, Cain, the son of Adam, advanced towards them.
Who?
Cain, the son of Adam, advanced towards them.
This is many years later. Cain is still alive, brothers and sisters. Cain, Adam's son, is walking towards them, right?
For Lamech was very old and could not see much. And Tubal Cain, his son, was very young. Very young. And Tubal Cain told his father to draw his bow. And with the arrows, he smote Cain.
Wait a minute. Now, it just say that Tubal Cain was very young. And they both seen the Bible says it was Cain walking towards them, right?
Yes.
The father had a problem with his eyesight. He was older.
Right.
But Tubal Cain, he could see.
And it scared him. So obviously it scared him if he told him to, or he thought it was an animal, he told him to pull his bow.
Keep reading.
The Tubal Cain told his father to draw his bow, and with the arrows he smote Cain, who was yet far off, and he slew him, for he appeared to them to be an animal.
To be what?
An animal.
To be an animal.
Right. So I guess, is that the point you're making about?
The point that we're bringing out today, brothers, is that the curse that was placed on Cain was him to be looking like an animal.
That's right. Look like an animal.
When you see the depictions of this Sasquatch, of this Bigfoot, what animal does he look like? A big, hairy ape. And that is the curse that was on Cain. This is what been recorded in our scriptures for our edification, for our understanding. Prophets, read that again.
And Tubal Cain told his father to draw his bow, and with the arrows he smote Cain. He was yet far off, and he slew him, for he appeared to them to be an animal. And the arrows entered Cain's body, although he was distant from them.
The scriptures say that Cain was still distant from them. He was so far.
They saw the image, not knowing, not understanding, and I'm sure Cain, Lamech still had his vision. It just wasn't all that sharp. But with the baby there, it still looked like a monster to him.
Exactly. And prophets, it couldn't have been an animal on 4 legs, was it?
It was standing up.
It was standing up walking, right? Come on.
Well, it didn't say. I don't know. It could be whatever. And he slew him, for he appeared to
well, Cain
is
an animal. I'm saying, prophets, Cain is a man. He's a man, right?
Right. Oh, yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying. But it still looked like an animal or a bear or something that they should be shooting. And the arrows entered Cain's body, although he was distanced from them, and he fell to the ground and died. And the Most High God, our power, requited Cain's evil according to his wickedness, which he had done to his brother Abel, according to the word of the Most High God, our power, which he had spoken. And it came to pass when Cain had died that Lamech and Tubal went to see the animal which they said they had slain, and they saw, and behold, Cain, their grandfather, was fallen dead upon the earth.
Killed by his own family.
His own family.
And with an instrument made with their own hands.
Yeah. And Lamech was very much grieved at having done this. And in clapping his hands together, he struck his son and caused his death. Whoa. Whoa.
Them some big hands if he clapping his hands together and caused Tubal Cain to die.
And in clapping his hands together, he struck his son and caused his death. Well, he was very young too now. And that was a grown. Lamech was very grown, so probably full grown. And the wives of Lamech heard what Lamech had done, and they sought to kill him.
Okay, hold it there. Go to the book of Jubilees.
All right.
Look at that. Look at that.
Wow.
So much detail. Book of Jubilees, chapter 4. All praise due to the Most High, brothers and sisters.
And that's really the curse of Cain going over and over again, because you weren't supposed to strike him according to the word, the protection that the Most High had placed on him. You know, but he ended up doing it. Then he ended up killing the little boy, because the little boy was the one who told him to shoot, and he ended up killing his grandfather. And you know, and so now the women, I mean, it's just like a recycle. It's a
and see,
I
keep thinking about this, prophets. If Lamech can't see clearly, what was Tubal Cain seeing? What was the little son seeing?
Yeah, he said whatever he and the baby. That's why he had him with him, because that was his set of eyes. That was like eyeglasses for him. And evidently he saw the baby was young, and maybe he hadn't seen his grandfather. And Lamech was good
with a bow.
He was excellent with a bow, because he could see a shadow, but he didn't see clearly what it was. But he trusted the baby that, you know, could see clearly. But what it looked like an animal. So here's the thing: if it looked like an animal, we're talking about what Tubal saw.
Exactly.
Not what Lamech couldn't see.
Right. Okay, so look, we're bringing out what the Most High said about Cain. You're going to get what you did. Look, read, you're in chapter 4? Jubilees chapter 4, and verse 31. Start at verse 31, prophet.
This goes the same. I'm going to read what I have and make sure that that's what you're wanting. It says, at the close of this Jubilee. Okay, at the close of this Jubilee, Cain was killed after him in the same year. For his house fell upon him, and he died in the midst of his house.
Now, isn't that scripture in Jasher? His house, his family.
His family, and that's what they're talking about. Exactly. His house fell upon him, and he died in the midst of his house, and he was killed by its stones.
On the end of an arrow, what do you make the arrow?
It's a stone you put on there, and you sharpen the edges so that it can be point and, you know, shoot whatever. And so they put stones. That was a narrow, sharp stone,
wasn't it?
That pierced his skin, all that hair. For his house fell upon him, and he died in the midst of his house, and he was killed by its stones. For with a stone he had killed Abel, and by a stone was he killed in righteous judgment.
In what judgment?
In righteous judgment.
In righteous judgment.
And so look, it says righteous judgment, the judgment that the Most High had put upon him on the way that he would die, as well as the little baby thought he was an animal. He saw him rightly. You know, he looked like a monster. I ain't never seen nothing like that before.
Shoot, Dad. Come on, prophets, read verse 30.
For this reason, it was ordained on the heavenly tablets with the instrument with which a man kills his neighbor, with the same shall he be killed. After the manner that he wounded him, in like manner shall they deal with him.
Prophets, I wanted to bring it out that was initiated on the heavenly tablets from the first murderer.
From the first murder. And it still stands today.
And it still stands today.
You do not escape the Most High's word. That's in a tablet. That's etched. It will not return void. This by the same token. And that's why he tells us on treating our neighbors. We need to treat them as we want to be treated, because by the same token. Now, what if you kill with the word? See, nowadays we're offending people with the word. We're saying things, evil things. We're speaking things out of our mouth, but they have us carelessly speaking. Mm-hmm. So are you uttering words that will actually turn around and hurt you?
Exactly. We have to be mindful of what we say, brothers and sisters, and understand the powers in the tongue. Life and death is in the power of the tongue.
Yeah, we said what? Kill by the sword, be killed by the sword, or how?
Live by the sword, die by the sword.
Right. Okay? That's what I was thinking.
So look, and then we get high and lifted up. Who go check me?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Who go bring judgment on me?
That sounds like wait a minute. It brings to mind Scarface at the end when he was having his rant. You see, pride comes before a fall, and the fall is quick. I always say that fall is the next step. So if you're prideful in this step, standing, making your rant, as soon as you pick your feet up and hit it down, the fall comes. And that's what happened, because that's what Scarface was talking about. He was this, I'm the king, and blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, he was towed up.
Hey, I'm going to let you finish that up in the book of Jasher, and then we're going to close out. Prophets, read, you're in chapter 2, book of Jasher. Read verse 34. Look what the wives did here.
And Lamech came to his wives, and he pressed them to listen to him about this matter.
I mean, he was hurt now. He killed his grandfather, and he killed his son.
Clapping his hands. Yeah. And he said to his wives, Adah and Zillah. I told you that was one of somebody's wives. Hear my voice, O wives of Lamech. Attend to my words, for now you have imagined and said that I slew a man with my wounds, and a child with my stripes, for their having done no violence, but surely know that I am old and gray-headed, and that my eyes are heavy through age, and I did this thing unknowingly. And the wives of Lamech listened to him in this matter, and they returned to him with the advice of their father Adam.
The advice of what?
Of their father Adam.
Okay.
But they bore no children to him from that time.
Whoa.
Knowing that the Most High God's anger was increasing in those days against the sons of men, to destroy them with the waters of the flood for the evil doing. So Noah was building his ark.
They knew about it.
Yeah.
And guess what? Doing all of this, Adam was still alive.
He was still alive.
Brothers, anything else you want to bring out on that lesson? I wanted to touch on that, brothers, because I'm a camper. We went camping. Praise the Most High.
He can now say he's a camper.
You know what? I thought as elders, you know, when you look at the camping movies and stuff, everyone sits around the fire and tell a scary story, right? Our elders told us a story that was true. Leviathan and Behold.
The movies. Yeah, again with those movies. That's all the reality we have.
That's it. No, we got some real reality in this word. The first Bigfoot. That's what I believe, because I know that it's a real phenomenon. There's people ain't seeing no ghosts. Them is real beings out there. They're real. Okay? But the Bible has an answer for everything, brothers and sisters. Okay? Prophets, anything else you want to bring out on this today?
No, Elder, it was just powerful. I guess I have to emphasize yet again, it's very important. I pray from this day forward that our listeners would study. We always encourage you to study. Get your records, as Elder says, and our elders tell us all the time. It's so important for us to have our records and to read them and understand the origin. Godzilla's origin did not come from a TV screen. So there were some words iterated there in Scripture, found in Scripture, many years. We know how long the Bible's been around.
Describing the so-called creature by characteristics.
Absolutely.
That's how we know ourselves, by the characteristics that's on the people.
And they just pulled that out and created the image that was just depicted in Scripture.
All right, we're going to get ready to close out. Look, we want to make sure that you all enjoy the rest of your Sabbath. Give the Most High a A round of applause, brothers and sisters. Thank him for his goodness and his grace on you every day. And we're going to close out with today's prayer. Come on, prophet. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. On earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. As we give